it's been a little bit since we've had this fellow on, and I feel like we should bring it on. I don't know if this Gorka. Nope, that's the wrong one. That's more my Don Jr. Beard. Let's see. We're gonna have to find what brings us to Gorka. Now this is them kind of getting excited about the idea of using the military on the ground in the United States, which for policing endeavors is illegal, but you'd have to basically declare war inside the United States. The standard by which you would have to do that is declare an emergency invasion, which all those folks, just so you know, any Republican who's for this shit, who told you they were against the Patriot Act or were concerned about FEMA camps or Agenda 21 or any of that shit, they were all full of shit. They're all liars. It's all nonsense, because this is exactly how you get that. Okaying the U.S. military to police the streets of the United States under the under an emergency declaration based on the idea that we're being invaded is exactly how you get the 1984 fucking Brave New World bullshit they always talk about. Gorka. And by the way, but do you think they're going to know that? You think they're going to pay attention to that? You think they're going to understand that? No. You know why? Because they have a dude who wants to chip 2 billion people's brains in the White House with a president whose brain, quite frankly, needs a chip.
We're delighted to have with us the man who made that statement. He is the one, the only founder, editor-in-chief of justthenews.com. Happy Monday, John Solomon.
I have to admit, I'm a MyPillow.
Also, I don't know what they're related to. It's kind of annoying when they put a clip up and they reference something and they don't leave what they're referencing in the clip. It's never going to be okay. It's never going to be okay. By the way, hit the like, subscribe, and share the show out, will you? This is the greatest live stream in the history of live streams, and I apologize to anyone who can't fit in here because the internet is packed.
Carrying card member. There's no doubt about
it.
He
travels with it, where he goes around Capitol Hill. He's got his MyPillow. He throws it at, liars in the fake news. He just Nerf guns them with a MyPillow just in case, because he knows he can get...
What a good idea. I may try that. Yeah.
Nerf them. Just
Yes, do that. Yeah, throw pillows at people. It's a great idea. Yeah, do that.
Nerf them with the MyPillow. All right, we've got an unbelievable story about President Trump, deportations. I just sent it to my guys. We'll talk about that in a second. But you are such a seasoned observer of this stinking city in which we work. I have to get your take, at least on your expectations on...
Well, by the way, if you work there and it stinks, perhaps you're contributing to the problem. Gorka!
A putative showdown, or whether it's just the strutting of the branches of government. Here we have Senator Mark...
Or just constitutional law.
Wayne Mullin, not kind of understanding that the House doesn't work for the Senate. Cut 13.
Well, and speaking of digging into his background, the House Ethics Committee was about to release the findings of its investigation into allegations of misconduct by former Congressman Gaetz. Of course, he abruptly resigned before that could happen. A number of your colleagues, including members of the Senate Judiciary Committee, have said they would like to see that report. Should the House Ethics Committee release that report, Senator?
Absolutely, and I believe the Senate should have access to that. Now, should it be released to the public or not? That's I guess that will be part of the negotiation.
So, is this something?
Defend it. Don't talk about the back and forth, motherfucker. Defend Matt Gaetz. Don't bury the lead and don't fucking cower away, you dopey, puffy cucks. Say it.
Explain it to me thusly over the weekend. This is just the Senate, just like, oh, we're important too. But we've got 2 million more votes. President Trump set the incumbency record in 2020, and he just broke his own.
But he lost, and still lost.
He just broke his own incumbency record by 2 million.
And it's still going up.
And it's still going, right?
It's
Still counting. So you know how this cesspit works. Is this kind of throat clearing and posturing, or are we going to see a real showdown after the 20th of January?
Here's I think cut the shit. Just get right to it. both of these guys think Matt Gaetz's ethics report should be hidden because they know it's devastating and they know he's not qualified, but they don't care because they would rather have the destruction of the Department of Justice and justice in the United States versus, just their, people calling them out for trying to put a rapist in there. Yeah, the video volume is low on this. It's there. It's on there, and I apologize.
Listen, I think the report will leak long before January 20th. I think there are enough people who know what's in it, have seen it, read it, been questioned about it, that the report's going to come out because there are no secrets in Washington. And I think the Trump administration.
Have you guys ever heard anything dumber in your life? I mean, there's a lot out there. It's hard to say, but it definitely ranks in the top 25. There are no secrets in Washington.
Will be prepared to
tell that to Lindsey Graham.
Answer it head on. Matt Gaetz is a guy that answers questions with facts, right? That's why he was so good as an inquisitor on the Hill with the FBI. There are some tough facts from my reporting that I've learned that he'll have to address, but if he addresses...
What tough facts with those from your reporting? What tough facts should he be concerned about? Tough facts, you say?
Those I think will be fine, but we live in an era where somebody is going to leak that report way before January 20th.
And then you and Gorka will have to defend the contents of it, not just the mechanics of whether or not it should come out. And for all this like Hunter Biden laptop horseshit that you guys were throwing around, right? Didn't you want all of it released? Don't you want everything posted? And he's not even in fucking government.
By January 20th, it's going to be old news, and hopefully President Trump will have the team that he wants in place.
So the broader question of the standoff between the Senate and the president, you think he's not going to have, because it's pretty clear he's going to go to recess appointments if he has to.
Nope. It's not clear because they've literally said they won't do it. The House and the Senate both have to agree. Thune has already said it's not happening. You're not going to just get an end run around them. And by the way, think about this for a fucking second. If you have such a fucking mandate and it's such a runaway and it's so obvious to everybody and it was clearly, like he's got carte blanche to do whatever the fuck he wants, then why does he have to talk about recess appointments when he has both houses of Congress? Right? Explain that to me. For real. Explain to me how you get the House and the Senate and you're going to have to do recess appointments, not because of Democrats, putting a freeze or a hold on your people, but because you don't have the votes amongst your own party. That doesn't seem hinky to anybody. And again, does this sound like something that happens when you have a runaway mandate that changes the tone in Washington forever? I don't think so.
Yeah,
but you think he's not going to? You think the Senate is going to play ball, play nice?
No, they'll have certain nominations as they do all the time. No matter who's president, what party's in control, there are certain nominations that get more scrutiny than the others.
And Trump is throwing a bunch of assholes up there, hoping that people just get exhausted talking to these scumbags and just let them go.
I think Matt Gaetz is going to be one of those for a variety of reasons. That said, I think that there are some...
Look, during his confirmation, Matt Gaetz, if he does a public confirmation hearing, Matt Gaetz is going to have to plead the fifth. The person that, and not because he's tangent, he's not allowed to talk shit about there's an ongoing investigation and blah, blah, blah. He himself as a human being is going to have to plead the fifth. I mean, at a certain point, the way you'll know that the fix is in or they're trying to do it for him is if they have, like, hidden confirmation hearings. They don't do them in public. He's going to have to plead the fifth. If Democrats are prepping at all, they are prepping to make sure that he has to answer a question, and that answer could be legally detrimental to him in a state trial or in a civil matter, and he's going to have to plead the fifth. And again, no, if he just lies, and there's evidence that he lied, that in and of itself is evidence against him in another court. You'll hear a bunch of believe language and whatever, but when they talk about locations, were you at this place at this time? Somebody's going to ask him that question, and he's going to have to plead the fifth on camera during a confirmation hearing. That's the primary goal of every Democrat on that committee, should be to ask questions in such a way that that's his only choice. That or come clean.
Important answers that can be made early, and I think what the Trump campaign has shown and the Trump transition has shown and the early Trump presidency has shown, get in front of things. Remember when they put the transcript of the Zelensky call out? They're going to get in front of this. They're going to outplay the back room.
No, they're not. What do you think they're going to do? Release the report before the report comes out? His own staff doesn't like Matt Gaetz as an option. He just did it so he could give him an excuse to get the fuck out.
Maneuvers, and it probably will be irrelevant by January 20th.
It's funny.
No, it's not going to be irrelevant by January 20th. It is not. As a matter of fact, it is going to dog Matt Gaetz the rest of the time he is in public life. It is never going to go away. There are going to be lawsuits whenever the DOJ goes after anyone during the Trump presidency. There are going to be counter lawsuits going, there is a rapist running the DOJ who has not answered for his crimes. We do not see this as legitimate. Then watch them answer that. Again, day after day. And it's got to be, you got to embarrass the fuck out of Trump for even mentioning this asshole's name.
When the transcript was released, my former engineer and I, we actually role-played it. We read it live on air. I played President Trump. He played
I remember
Zelensky.
that.
And it's like, okay, well, full disclosure. The president released it.
Yeah, then release the fucking report. There you go. I think we're on the same. Oh.
We're going to read it live on air. Why are they afraid of this?
Yeah. By the way, does anybody think this prick is going to read the Matt Gaetz ethics report live on air? I will. Hey, Gorka, what if you, how about this? How about I have you on my fucking show and I'll read, you can read Matt Gaetz's part and I'll read everybody else's. Yeah?
This guy, because of this is going viral. This is Matt Gaetz talking to the head of cyber affairs in the FBI, Cut 17.
I want to know where Hunter Biden's laptop is. Where is it?
Sir, I don't know that answer.
Right?
I'm holding the receipt. Now, you're telling me right here is that as the
nice edit, by the way.
assistant director of FBI Cyber, you don't know where this is after it was turned over to you 3 years ago.
Yes, sir, that's an accurate statement.
I seek unanimous consent to enter into the record of this committee the contents of Hunter Biden's laptop, which I'm in possession of.
Boom.
That wasn't a boom at all. They went to recess and they came back and he entered in, he had to amend his language because there was no evidence that that stuff came from the laptop. He had to say evidence that is purported to have come from, because it didn't, because it was bullshit, because the hard drive got bigger and bigger the more people got their hands on it. And there is no Hunter Biden laptop still. The only one that the federal government actually has, if they've actually gotten anything off it, was the one he surrendered to the IRS in the case that's against him. Like he surrendered his phone and a bunch of other files.
Mic drop. You, the FBI, don't know where the laptop is that you took 2 years ago. Well, I've got a copy of the hard drive and I'm entering it in.
No, he doesn't. No, he didn't. And you didn't play. You honestly didn't play the rest of it. Like I would, but I'm bored. It's such an old fucking story.
Into the record. That's why they want to stop Matt Gaetz. All right, I have to ask you.
No, they want to stop Matt Gaetz because he's a rapey cretin. You think Mullins told the story about Matt Gaetz showing pictures of nude teenage girls that he'd fucked while snorting fucking Viagra and pounding energy drinks and transporting underage girls who are high on ecstasy across state lines? You think that Mullins, who's a Republican, is mad about the fucking Hunter Biden laptop and not just disgusted by this fucker? Again, this goes to the fact that neither of these dickheads have anywhere near the standards they want. We've always known that Republicans' family values stuff was bullshit. It was always nonsense. It was always a lie. But now it's like they're embarrassed to have even told that lie in the first place. They're so far away from even the semblance of the old sort of Christian national security pro-family party that they were selling to everybody that they don't even want to, like, avoid even pretending they used to talk that way. They leap into the arms of every sex pest and predator they can find.
I was going through your feed as we were prepping for the show. This story, will you talk to us, John Solomon, about this story? Trump confirms plans to use military for mass deportations, because this is big.
Yeah, it is. Listen, we activate our military when there's a disaster for the hurricane or for a tornado or something that when a tragedy
National Guard
strikes. The border crisis may be the largest disaster in American history. And so turning to the military.
Nope. It's a policy differential, and you have no material proof that the number is anywhere near what he was selling. So you can't go, we got 25 million illegals in here, and you don't have any, like, it's less than half that. You can't call it an emergency just because you make up a fucking shocking number and hope it scares everyone.
To speed the exit of dangerous criminals from this country makes a lot of sense to everyday Americans.
Yeah, everyday Americans want Donald Trump to go into the prisons in America and find murderers and rapists and violent assault felons that are illegal, that are incarcerated in the United States, and set them free on foreign soil. Give them a free flight home and a pat on the fanny.
Trump is going to do it. He'll probably invoke a 2-century-old law called the Alien Enemies Act to get some additional emergency powers. And he'll do it because he promised the American people to do it. Remember what he said on election night in that very gracious acceptance speech. He said, my motto will be promises made, promises kept. This is.
Yeah, just like last time. The infrastructure, well, the healthcare plan, the tax cuts.
The way President Trump intends to keep this promise on the border. Let's get all of the dangerous illegal aliens out of here quickly. He promised that. He's already.
Yeah, great. That's 800. Then what?
Already got a plan. There are two things going on. They're planning to invoke these powers and to activate the Guard and other military assets to get bad people out of here quickly. They're also ramping up places where they can do detentions quickly to get the bad people out of the country first so that they stop committing crimes.
Also, that's what every president does. That's always their priority when they're deporting people. Every single time. Biden was no different. The Obama administration deported far more people than Trump did, and by the end of it, their number will probably still be higher.
And we feel more secure in our home neighborhoods. That is a common sense approach, and I think something most Americans will rally behind.
Also, again, notice, when we feel more secure, your security will not have changed. But there are a lot of maggots out there who will feel a lot better if they believe people are being rounded up. Right? As long as I feel so much better already. I just feel so much more relaxed and stuff. Why? Because I know that migrants that are basically here to do roofing are being put into hot trucks and drove to the Mexico border and dumped. I feel like I could walk in the middle of the night to the store again. Right? That's you'll feel safer because this is all about feelings, anyways.
Trust me, though, the military and the left are going to go nuts with this.
I've got.
You mean because the military, because it's unconstitutional, and why the left? By the way, conservatives are too. Hey, but look, start with Texas and spend all your time there. You could broom 2 million people out, apparently, just in Texas alone. And then as soon as you broom them out, seal the border of Texas. No more trade in or out through Texas. Close all the ports, all the entries. We obviously can't trust them. Obviously, California and Arizona do a much better job, so we'll trust them to allow people through. But Texas sucks at stopping people. They complain about it all the time, so maybe they're just terrible at it. So throw out anybody who's even working in a store, stocking shelves, I don't care what they're doing, out of Texas. They can fill them with locals. They're doing the jobs that Texans want to do. And then as soon as they're out, seal the border. And all the shipments from, from South America and from Mexico, our trade partner, could go in through Long Beach. They can get on boats and go around to South Carolina and North Carolina.
10 seconds left. In the next 2 years, 4 years, are we going to see all disclosure, the truth about Hunter Biden, Russia collusion, because you've been the tip of the spear? Are we finally going to get it from official sources, John?
We are. I may have something on that in the next few days, too, so stay tuned.
He always does that to me. It's like, I've got
I
6
know, I gotta
seconds
stop
left,
that.
and he drops the hammer again.
No. The answer is no. The answer is no. They're going to, again, what's going to end up happening is Solomon and some of these other dickheads are going to end up getting sued like Rudy Giuliani got sued for defamation, libel, and slander. And the more they release about it, the more that it will just be that the people that they're talking about had a legitimate concern. And you can't vilify someone for a legitimate concern. And all it's going to do is continue to draw more information, out of, that they've kept hidden, that the Republicans have kept hidden through disclosure and anything in the civil trials. And then Republicans themselves will have to just constantly be talking about how what was that Alpha Bank server thing in Trump Tower about? What's that about? What's this big? How are we going to trace his crypto payments? Right? Go for it. Fucking go for it. Go after everybody. You know where it'll go? Fucking nowhere. And it won't be us that goes after you. Like, again, the Peter Strzok's of the world will probably have to sue and they'll win again. Right? That'll more than likely happen. But it won't impact most of us because we know enough to know that we don't trust them and we know what what Republicans are up to. But the maggots will be mad because it won't go anywhere and they're not doing anything. And there it is and everybody can see it, but nothing's happening. Go for it. Am I melting down, Shane? That's what the meltdown looks like? You think that's a meltdown? And by the way, I want to thank the maggots and trolls that are here, because without you guys, we wouldn't have the boost in algorithm that we have had. You're almost singularly responsible for, people always talk about an echo chamber or an area where they're, people are kind of stuck in a cul-de-sac on the internet. But thanks to you guys, I break out of it. I show up in your also watched feed, and it feels good. Yeah, Lori, I do find that, I understand that that's one of their go-to phrases, right? It just feels a little lazy. I feel like there could be criticisms of how I talk about some of these things, but since they don't have any on the merits, they just kind of fall back on those things. Is that what it is? Is meltdown is meltdown the only phrase they have? Chat room? Yes. So thank you so much, maggots. I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate you typing as well. That's the other thing. I don't think you guys realize how important actual interaction is. Because when you write something in my chat, no matter what site you're on, the beautiful thing about it, and I really want you to hear me on this, it's exactly why we're all leaving X and we're not going back because it's a dump, is because every interaction you have says to the algorithm, not only is this guy watchable, but he's fucking engaging. God, dare I say, charming. Know this, understand this, okay? Hold on. We will, where is it? Looking. Let me tell you something. No, this is too, I feel like it's too much, I feel like I should be much more like this. Listen to me. I tell you this right now. Just when I thought I couldn't get more exciting, more engaging, more sexy, you find a way to make me more sexy, and you have done it. And I'm very impressed. I couldn't do it myself, and I could not do it without you. And I could not do it, quite frankly, without the kidney.
The kidney has a very special place in the heart.
Ah, that is true. That is true. I mean, I should have seen that coming, but, you know, that's what she said. Sorry. No, actually, she said, what did she say? She
Drop
said,
your shorts and bend over, Mr. Babar.
which, you know, is quite frankly, hold on. Is that Murphy? Hold on. He's going to run away. It's hard to get Murph. Hold on. I might have a cat. Hold on. I'll bring you a cat. Hang out. Talk amongst yourselves. What is happening? What? Hi, buddy. What are you doing? Huh? Well, I want to come over and grab you, but you'll run away. I know. Well, why? Yeah. Sorry. I apologize, everyone. No, the Summer got a new thing for the Christmas tree that she's put up. It's one of these little tunnels under the thing, it's like a little tube that's furry, goes under the tree, and it's got two entrances. Chip is in there in the front, and Murph ran behind it and then got in the back. And so it's going to be destroyed. They're going to attack each other, and it's going to be ugly, you know, like family Christmases this year. But hopefully I will have a cat for you in the morning, along with Greg Proops and hopefully Philip Ittner, I think, if we have him. Hold on 1 second. And I, boink, just to make sure. Oh, there's Stankfield. What do you know? No one's buffering. YouTube. Chat is still hanging on. We're back here. Is everything all right? Everything's back. Okay, that's a while back. Okay, good. But I will leave you with this. Always remember